album No Need to Argue, and it's no coincidence that I'm joined now in the studio by Dolores O'Riordan and Noel Hogan from the Cranberries. Welcome, thanks very much for coming in. Talk to us about that track a bit, Zombie. It's got a very tough, quite political lyric, hasn't it, Dolores?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, lyrically it's very descriptive about what it's about, so there's very little I can say about the content of the song, really, beyond whatever I already said in the song.
But for people who might have only heard that for the first time and not caught it all, I mean, it's obviously it goes through, it's an account in a way of the troubles as they affect people living in Ireland today.
It's an account of a specific happening, occurrence, provoked by the troubles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that I was provoked to write the song because I was unhappy about, you know, the fact that these like innocent people would be killed, and it was just at a specific time, you know. It's like, I don't go around thinking about it all the time. It was just on that day. I remember there was lots of press and stuff, and it was around the Warrington bombing that time.
Right. So it was based on a real true life experience of yours.
Yeah.
Does this signal a change in direction in the album generally? I mean, do you regard this as a slightly tougher album than your first album?
I think it's topically it's a little bit harder, as in, you know, you get older and you get to know a little bit more about yourself, you get more assertive. So I suppose, there's probably a lot more pain and stuff in the second album, and anger maybe. There was not much anger in the first album, so. And I think musically the band has begun to experiment a lot more, you know what I mean? So.
How was that for you, Noel? What sort of experiments did you conduct on this album?
No, I think when we went in, we kind of knew what we were going to try. We knew we didn't want to do the same thing all over again that we had done on the first album, because it was really, that would be the easy way out. You know, so many bands that, you know, the first album was successful, so let's do it all over again.
Yeah.
People often talk, now they used to talk about the difficult third album, now they often talk about the difficult second album, because so many bands and artists do seem to find it quite difficult to follow up a strong initial success. How did you feel about that in relation to this album?
We didn't have a problem with it, because there's been like 2 years between both of these albums, and most of those songs, a lot of the songs we started writing a year and a half ago, so...
Yeah, for example, Zombie was written before we ever went to the States, you know. So it wasn't as if success could possibly taint us, if it would have, because at the time we'd have the songs written anyway. So it took all the pressure off us.
Does that mean that these were songs you'd road tested, that you'd played them in front of audiences before you recorded them?
Oh yeah. Loads of times. Mm. And we kind of decided to release Zombie as a single. I suppose people really, really liked it live, you know, in particular in the States. When we went tour, they'd be calling for us to play it, you know. So when a song gets that familiar with your audience before you've ever even put it down, and it's you know, it's good.
How do you feel about playing, you know, Britain, for example? I mean, you seem to have a slightly uneasy relationship with the British media.
Yeah, but the media are they're up there, they're these people that go around writing about bands and stuff. But that doesn't, you know, mean that British people who buy records, we don't have a problem with them. They're cool. You know, fans are fans wherever you go. You know, people are people. And some people are, you know, different reactively at gigs. But we're looking forward to going back out touring in England, because we haven't really done a headline tour ever, have we?
No.
It's our first headline really in England.
And it's been about nearly 2 years since we actually played a gig of any sort.
Yeah, so it's kind of exciting, you know.
Do you feel yourselves to be an Irish band? Is Irishness important to your music?
Well, I think we are Irish as in by culture and nationality, but I don't think that we're I don't think we want to be recognised as Paddy Joes or anything, you know, that kind of thing. We don't want to be like a Shamrock label on us. You know, it's not important musically. Mm-hmm. It's not like I grew up in Ireland, so my music's going to be Irish, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because none of us were ever, you know, into that in a big way.
Yeah. But, I mean, I've noticed, and other people have said to me, it is quite noticeable that you, for instance, sing with an Irish accent, a more noticeable Irish accent than a lot of Irish singers that one hears. Mm.
It's probably because I honestly have an Irish accent, and I'm not into pretending to be anything I'm not.
So other people must be hiding there, presumably, to some extent.
Yeah, they do. You know, some people, they talk, and I mean, the next thing they start singing, and it's like this American accent comes out, and I find that funny.
In America, do they view you as an Irish band over there? Do they think of you as a small piece of the Emerald Isle? Is there a slightly sort of...
A lot of them don't actually know. Well, they know by now, but in the beginning,
They didn't know a lot
they
of
didn't
them.
know where we were from.
We were doing this thing over there on, was it on MTV America or something?
Yeah.
And your man introduced us as the Cranberries from Limerick, England.
How did you feel about that?
We were laughing. It was funny. It was grand though, because it made us see that, you know, it was better than saying paddies, you know. It's like, because we don't like to overuse the hello, we're Irish thing, because
Right.
it doesn't matter where you come from, see, it's just music is music, you know, and we like to write music that appeals to people all over the world.
Yeah. But it's very striking that at a time when a lot of, well, I mean, Suede are an example, bands who get an enormous push over here don't seem to be making much impact in America, and yet you guys have done brilliantly. I mean, what, you sold 2 million copies, I think, of the first album in the States?
Yeah, but it was like the opposite way around, which it very often is for Irish bands, because over here it's kind of easier in England if you're an English band. Of course, the English press will push you more, you know, they're proud of their English bands. But if you're Irish, it's like harder because you're obviously, you know, you're not English, so you go to America and they don't care where you're from. You know, they just go by the music. So I think with Suede and a lot of bands in the English scene, you just get so much hype over here that in their heads and their own mentalities, they're huge, famous, and then it kind of distracts them from what they're doing, you know.
And you haven't been distracted by the considerable acclaim that you've had recently?
No.
Let's talk a bit more about the new album. There's an interesting track, the track that opens the album, is that Ode to My Family. Why did you write that one?
Because I just wrote it when I was on tour and I was kind of missing my childhood, really. You know, at the time, it was like a kind of a reflection on how perfect things were when I was a kid, and I was kind of sad, I suppose, at the time.
And what does the family think of it?
They like it. Yeah. My mother gets really proud when she plays it all the time.
Well, that's great. Dolores and Noel, thanks very much for coming in. And now let's see another track from your first album, Dreams.